Welcome back to the MotorFab YouTube channel. Well, look out, 2,000 subscribers. Pretty happy about that. We went from 1,000 to 2,000 just like that. Like it was, yeah, blown away. I finally got a chance to go through the comments too, and yeah, thank you very much for all the feedback. Really enjoyed it. I've taken on all the constructive criticism, and I'm here trying to make the channel better for you. Trying to yeah, bring you better content and give you a better delivery on it. And yeah, hopefully most of you are here to get into the tech tips of building a car and see how they come together. So you won't crucify me too much on my Spielberg style film quality. So yeah, but I will endeavour to get better at the film stuff. Block Chevy, hey buddy. So yeah, thank you very much for everyone who's liked and subscribed, and everyone who's watching. If you're watching and you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. Really do appreciate it, and I'll keep working hard to, one, build you a car, and two, bring the content to you in a better format. So there you go. But first and foremost, we've got to build this car. So yeah, and have some fun doing it. So yeah, this episode, a few bits been happening actually. We got a new front end, heap of new parts on that on the Monaro. I put a post on Facebook on the HKTG builds page requesting some of the parts that we were chasing, and quite a few people messaged me and got back to me. I appreciate it. One guy in particular, Luke James, he contacted me, so I got everything that you need, and offered to donate them to the channel. So I went out and had a look at Luke's very, very impressive KTG collection, and Luke's knowledge on KTGs is super impressive. For a young bloke, he's knows a lot about these cars, and a really good bloke too. Thank you very much, Luke. Really did appreciate helping you empty the fridge, mate. And if you get some more beers back in there, mate, we'll be back. Don't you worry about that. And yeah, maybe we can show you some of Luke's cars in the future. He's got some nice projects going on there. I got sound. Hopefully you guys can hear me. We're running through a microphone now. Stepping up to the big league. So yeah, hopefully the sound quality is much better. What else is happening? It's Mother's Day tomorrow. Happy Mother's Day. Big shout out to me mum. I think she's a big fan of the channel. She's been a supporter of MotorFab since day one, and been a big supporter of me as well. Yeah, mum's pretty good, isn't she, Chevy? So thanks mum. Hope you're enjoying the show. Hope you get off far. And yeah, we did the oil pan this episode. Quick little rundown on the ute there behind me as well. And that's about it, I think. So the oil pan will finish off next episode. It's I didn't finish. I finished the outside of it, but I didn't finish the internals, the windage tray and crank scraper and all that sort of stuff. And there's the face on the Monaro, some of the goodies we got off Luke. So yeah, check it out. Enjoy. Don't forget, like and subscribe. Post. Let's see what we got. It's Gonna be Monaro parts. Gonna need to get it off. Good work to the Gumtree guy, Derek, I think it was. I bought this off Gumtree, I think that's what it's gonna be. Good packaging. And let's see what we got here. I know what it is. For you, the fans at home, this will be a surprise. This guy's package is really, really good. We're back. Here we go. 150 bucks of Gumtree. Looks to me to be brand new, never been used. So, for our Nitrous. So we've got our initial power duty cycle. That'll be what we, there we go, gotta push it in and turn it. That'll be what we start. So we can start Nitrous on 0, leave just on motor. And then seconds to come in. So if we start there, it'll be 4 seconds to bring it in, so on and so forth. We can start with 20% nitrous. I've never used one before. When I have tuned a nitrous car, it's been through a laptop-based software, so this is a bit old school, but I reckon it'll do the trick just fine. Also in the box, we've got the owner's manual, and the guy's actually put his original receipt, less his details on there. So he's paid $7.10. There's postage to me, so you can see we actually paid $150 for it. Budget build. Second-hand parts are where it's at. Righto, so today we're going to make a sump for the Monaro. This is the original truck sump that came with the motor. It doesn't fit at all. I believe you can buy a ready-to-go ASR sump for big block in a HKTG, but we're going to modify this one, basically remake it. We're just going to use the flange and bolts of the block. Show you what goes into a sump. It's important, but I'll show you that along the way. First step is to clean it. Not very exciting. We're just going to degrease it and give it a hose, and then cut it apart. Stick around, watch. I'll show you how. Clean. It's already covered in shit. We're working on it. Second step is going to be work out where we want to cut it. So the block is in the car and there's no crank in the block, so it's a good time when you can actually slip it in and out of the car without having to pull the motor every time to set this thing up. So we're just going to work out where we'd have to cut it on. I do want to try to keep that part and work out where our height's going to be. We're going to cut it off and then get some cardboard, fabricate up our sump, because if you're familiar with the HKTG Holden, your steering runs through the guts of it, so it's a bit of a pain in the butt, and not a great sump. There's always an issue with the clearance and stuff like that, but I'm going to show you how to try to optimize the best we can out of it. Righto, we're going to do some measuring. As you guys know, measuring's my favourite thing. Please excuse the shaky footage you might see. I finally got the microphone, which we're all very happy about, I'm sure. And I've got a gimbal as well, which smooths everything out. This is fantastic, but there's one little bracket to go between the microphone and the gimbal that hasn't turned up yet. So when we've got microphone, we've got no gimbal, and when we've got gimbal, we've got no microphone until next week, and then I'll have everything. no more disappointing you guys with bad sound. So there, I've measured it a bit better equipment while I was not filming, but I'll just run over it quickly there. You got about 110 mil clearance between the 110 mil clearance between the pan rail and the top of the cross member. And then if we go into our engine over here, you got, it's going to be hard for you guys to see it, and I can't have another hander on the straight edge, but you got about 90 mil between the counterweight of the crank at the highest point there and the pan rail. So that gives us 110 less 90. It gives us 20 mil between the actual crankshaft and the cross member. Not a lot, because we really want at least 10 mil between the pan and the cross member. So if you look at the factory pan, you're just a smidge over 110 there. So if I put just this front starting point in the car, this would be touching on the cross member straight away. So obviously the factory likes that clearance between here and the crank, and we're going to have to be tighter than that, which is unfortunate, but this is the problems of putting a motor out of a truck in a car. So yeah, so I'm gonna work out where I want to cut it. There's a baffle inside, so that's probably gonna be a little bit easier to cut around that and remove it. Yeah, we'll chop him down, see how we go. Okay, so here's our piece that we cut, what's left of it. Just go try to put it up in there. And just as I suspected, this section here, unless it's dead up against the block, which it can't be because of the gearbox, it's not going to go in there. So we're going to have to try and force it. It's too tight. We're going to have to cut that piece as well. Kind of new, so there's not a lot left of the original sub by now. Just cut down at the front now. You can see, sorry about cramming under the car here. That's on the hoist, obviously. That's it. Oh, look at that, like a glove. Done. Righto, so that's our next step. We can get that in, and then we can fab up what we need to do in cardboard and make it all happen. Right now it's time for a little lunch. I'm going to go and have something to eat, and I'll be back. Okay, so we've jumped ahead. We cut out a piece of truck stump out, and then I made a cardboard template. Didn't bore you with scissors and marking out lines because you've been doing it since kindy. And then I've transferred the cardboard into sheet metal, and then folded it up in folder. And that's what we have now, as you can see. So there, so I put that in the car in separate pieces because we can fit our first piece in, then take it, and then put the second piece actually slips in once the first piece is in. Once it's tacked together, it won't go in and out, obviously. So yeah, so now what I'm going to do is just tack it together, and I've got some Clecos in the back there, just to hold it together while basically fill in the blanks. Important thing is we'll leave the side open at the back because we've got to sit this on the block in the engine room there and set the pickup. It's very important with these engines that the pickup is the right distance off the floor of the pan in here. So always leave the last section till last, so we can actually bolt that on the engine, the crank, check the crank clearance and everything. We've also got to put a crank scraper in there and see how we go. Might put a little windage tray as well. And then yeah, the pickup will be custom because this is a pretty funky sump because of the confinement to the KTG. It actually gets a lot wider. We're trying to get our volume down in this section as far back as we can and as far away from the crank and the windage as we can, so that the pickup is uninhibited and as much oil volume as we can. So yeah, so we'll set the pickup up, and then after the pickup's done and made, it's easy to reach through there and tack the custom pickup tube into place. And then once that's done, we can tack the sides on, weld it all up, or weld it on a block obviously so it doesn't warp and distort. So I'm just gonna, these bits here I've wrapped around, as I said to you earlier on with the funky shapes. The pan's always funky shapes, so that bit there is very close to the cross member. So what I'm going to do is tack it up and tap it as we go a little bit just to get that funky curve in it. For the side, which I'll show you all in detail shortly. Now there are a couple of little tips here. This is the oil of your engine, it's very important. So every cut that you make, it's very important to get even the slightest little burr off it. So you want minimal gaps because you want neat welds, you don't want slag and crap going inside the sump. But you also want no little dags and stuff that are going to stay on the inside and eventually work themselves loose and end up in your oil pump and going through your engine to destroy bearings. So you got to exercise a lot of care and attention to prepping the back side of all your edges. So I'm going to tack this all together and keep moving forward. So yeah, keep the steel clean. I obviously haven't surface this back to the metal yet because I'm not welding the bottom part to the sump yet. That's going to happen last. Once we do that, we can't get it in and out of the car. And we're just going to fabricate this bottom piece and then split it from the top piece, and then we can clean it all up, put it on a block and weld it together. Okay, so here's the side of for a pan. Just like I said, I'll leave that little bit to last, so you've still got access to do the pickup, which I'll show you about that in a sec. I've got a little gap here I'm not too happy about, but that's alright, it'll fill up pretty easy. So you can see I've tried to use as many folds as possible because the less welding, the less chance of leaks, less chance of cracks, all that sort of stuff. So you want to try to really get it. You got to plan out. Obviously, I've folded that over and made a nice little neat. So it'll be a little corner to corner weld there, which will come up really nice and neat. Nice corner to corner on there. The welds that are all there are all pretty simple. A butt weld there, but that won't be too bad. So then you can see inside, that's how I've achieved the same shape as the factory pan down to the shape that we want. So we'll just run in here to the, there you go, have some Tirana on the way past. Have some big block Chevy. So, we've got the Clecos are in the back, so it won't sit down properly until I pull them out. But you can see, can you see? Down in there is the oil pump, and then the pickup will run down there. So you want that oil pickup, you want all the oil to rush to the back under acceleration, get down this hole down here, and the pickup to as far away from the crank as you can. Because obviously the crank spinning around is creating wind, and in big blocks especially long stroke big blocks, they have a lot of problems with sloshing the oil away from the pickup, the wind off the crank. So sump is very important. Yeah, I've actually been through this a bit with my small block. We had a KTG with the steering through here. Most of the aftermarket sumps you buy have a bowl in the middle, and a pickup is in the middle. As soon as I started to get that car to 60 foot pretty well, it started to lose oil pressure, which luckily you can pick up on the data logging on the Outtakes. And I saved the engine. I didn't destroy the engine, but it was only that I had it set, and I had a safety set for if the oil pressure dropped. So I had to go away from a middle bowl and go to a rear bowl. So it's still got the middle bowl in it. I added the rear bowl and moved the pickup to the back in that car. But the problem with this bowl still there in that car is it's on methanol, and the methanol settles in the bottom of the pickup and sends oil all milky, which is a bit of a pain. But yeah, this is the best of a bad situation with these cars. So it's why I've gone so wide. There's plenty of room still for the headers. So hopefully, we'll still get the volume in it. It won't be a problem. And the pickup will be nice. And I know this shape, this size pickup there works already. I know, I can 60 foot really hard in the ute and not have an issue. So yeah, there's the finished side. So there you go. We'll keep moving forward to the other side. Okay, so there's our funky looking sump. It's pretty ugly, I know, but it'll do the job. I've actually got to put a little recess just in here. I'll put a bulge because the steering arm is obviously rounded down there, and this space here is plenty of clearance, and it's very close, pretty much touching the oil pump there. So the oil pump will just have a little short pickup straight out of it. It looks odd, but it's an odd way to achieve it, but that's about, I just measured it up. There's 3.2 litres in this section alone. It's about a litre in this section. There's, 2.9 litres here, about a litre there, so it's 3.9. There's 3.2 in that section, and then another probably litre in the back there, a little less maybe. So all up, it's over 7 litres, which will do the trick. It's about where we want to be. Probably a bit more would be good for an engine this size, but it's okay. It looks pretty funky because it's not your conventional shape, but once it's in the car, you can't see it. So yeah, we welded up. That's I've run out of time today, so that's the outside done and dusted. And next episode, we'll go through the inside, the windage tray and the crank scraper, the pickup, all that fun stuff. You got to build it all together with the other parts in mind. So we'll go right through that, and I'll go through the welding up, how to weld it nicely and make it seal. Tell us a story, Gibbo.
What? Oh. was sitting in my car this morning, just vaping away, scrolling Facebook as I normally do.
You vaped,
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, vape life, mate. You see it?
Right, okay.
I'm pretty into it. You can tell by the size.
You do like puff and magic
Yeah.
tricks and shit.
Nah, yeah. It's too windy out here for tricks. Too windy.
Oh, okay.
Too windy. Yeah.
You blow the hearts and put your noodles through it?
Yeah. Save that for later, right? Nah, I'm sitting there, scrolling Facebook, and then this fucking Ranger comes past, big tyres,
It was
sticking out
Navarro
past the
this morning.
guards. Look, don't get caught up in the details. Details are a new point in this situation.
Okay, yep.
Sitting there and I hear this fucking bang! I'm like,
Can't
what was
swear on
that?
YouTube, mate.
Look behind me, see the windscreen smashed. I'm like, nah, he threw something for sure. So I fired up the Tornado, didn't wait for the glow plugs, just sitting there, winding over. I'm like, oh, before I look like a dick, I better go out and actually check if there's
Did you
anything
glow
on it.
plug it or you into a hurry?
Nah, we just wound over straight away.
Over so much.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Cold.
If you listen to my story, mate, I said I didn't wait for it to blow.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was too busy looking at the guy in the car, looking at you, looking like an idiot.
And then yeah, hopped out, had a look, and yeah, it was smashed. Nothing on the ground, so I'm guessing he just flicked it off.
Thanks again for watching. Like and subscribe. See you next week.